Hi there, you're watching Gardens and Graveyards. My name is Charisma and today we are in the garden and I thought it would be fun to give you a little tour of what's blooming in mid-April zone 9A on the Oregon coast. It is a little bit windy out here. There's big gusts of wind, although it's bright and sunny and beautiful, which is a nice surprise because the forecast said that we were going to have rain all week long. So it's the middle of the week and it's blue skies. So I wanted to just take you around the garden and show you what's blooming. I'm just gonna walk all the way around and we'll just check out all the blossoms and the things that are starting to like wake up, because you know spring is amazing like that. So I'm gonna flip the camera around and I'm just gonna walk around the garden with you and comment as I see things. Okay, we're starting here at the driveway and walking the front of our garden. You can see big azalea is all in bloom. We have a yellow and white tulip mix right here, as well as all the iberis or candy tuft looking absolutely beautiful. On this side of the garden, we still have a hellebore. That same hellebore has been in bloom for months and months, looking absolutely gorgeous. And then we've got little bluebells coming up, and if you can see that pieris right there, this like pink salmon shrub, all of that pink color is the new growth. And really the only reason I keep it in the garden. And then you could see the little blooms are coming on too, which is super fun. Yes, the hydrangea is all leafed out. And in the privet grove, we've got some forget-me-nots starting to bloom. We have several hostas starting to come up. The Pearly Everlasting is going to have a huge patch this year. This whole green space right there is all a Pearly Everlasting. And then down here we've got some pink bleeding hearts. Really sweet. Of course, the rhododendrons are not ready to bloom yet, but their buds are swelling. Looking pretty awesome. The Edwardia is just about finished. She was looking gorgeous for a very long time, and still, even though she's drooping and getting ready to leaf out, see, she blooms first and then she leaves out, which is a really unique feature in that plant. Still, from a distance, it still looks pretty awesome. Underneath that, we have one purple tulip, and we had a couple other random tulips, but they look like there's one back there. There's one down there, and there's two right there. That's kind of all that's going on in that bed right now. Oh, I see another one. Those are one of my favorites. Okay, so keep going. We've got, this is the Weeping River maple that we planted this fall. It's all leafed out. I'm really excited. Lithidora is in full bloom. This is what it looks like from the other side of the walk towards the driveway. Really sweet, very springy. This tulip bag is looking so good. Obviously, plenty of color still to come on, but wow. Really great show. This is our front walk. There's our front entry. And then we've got another bag of tulips that aren't ready to bloom yet, but those hyacinths have been going for a couple of weeks. They smell so good. And then we have peonies coming up in there looking really nice. swinging back over this direction, I wanted to share the Kaynomilies with you. Again, this is the end of the season for the Kaynomilies. It's been in bloom for maybe a month. Really, really beautiful. And I cannot tell you how excited I am to have this plant in bloom, getting established on my property. And then over here we have Acaria japonica, which again, super fun, beautiful plant. They're still very small. But look at this. Look at all those blooms. They just bloom, bloom, bloom. So eventually, the Acaria and the flowering quince will be in bloom, obviously together, but they'll both be like 6-foot shrubs. It's gonna be quite the show. Alright, so moving along, we do have a little row of daffodils from the daffodils that we planted up last fall. The columbines are starting to get their bulk on them. They'll probably bloom soon. The heathers have been blooming for a little while, and let's see, the red hot pokers are coming up nicely. This is kind of like the view from this end of the garden. Oh, I do see our first rhododendron in bloom right here. She's still a baby, but absolutely beautiful. She looks very much like the pink azalea, but this is a rhododendron. All azaleas are rhododendrons, not all rhododendrons are azaleas. Okay. There's my giant rosemary, full of blooms, and big fat honeybees. And bumblebees, and then I see honeybees on it. I see other kinds of bees on it, all kinds of bees. So that's awesome. The herb garden is starting to come alive, but there's not like a ton to see. This has grown tremendously. The comfrey, the sage is looking really good. Oh, and then the yellow rhododendron that we planted is in bloom. Again, just a little baby. And then we have wedding flowers in bloom down there. I'm so excited about those. I've been trying to grow them for like 5 years. So blooming her head off, and I can't wait for her to get seeds and reseed the whole area on her own. I mean, if that plant grew everywhere, I would be thrilled. The seed heads are amazing. I can't wait to show you what they look like. We're gonna go ahead and travel on down here. Our hostas are starting to come up that we planted just a couple of weeks ago. There's another one. That foxglove is getting huge. The Shasta daisies are coming up. There's another view of that wedding flower. Beautiful. And the St. John's wort is trying to come up. It needs to be fertilized. You see some yellowing on the leaves. The lovage all came back, which is really fun. The bronze fennel came back, which I was not expecting. It's also really fun. Okay, going back over here. The skunk cabbage is just about done blooming. The dogwoods are putting on their leaves, or at least the shrubs are. The dogwood tree is just barely starting to put on leaves. You can see it right here. Oh, you can see it right here. And then we're starting to get our lilies are coming up back there. and they look like they got a lot of hail damage on them, but they'll do okay. They'll come back and be strong in no time at all. Of course, we have the red bleeding heart right here. Still so happy I ended up with that plant. There's one of the hostas that we planted. The heucheras putting on bloom stalks. Another hosta that we planted. There's the baskets that we planted. Hostas are coming up further and further, and there's one down there and there. The Wulala also got quite a bit of hail damage on that leaf, but the rest of them look okay, and we'll just keep our eye on it. And there's another one. Let's keep going here. Nothing really in bloom down here. The Gunnera is getting some big leaves on it. This area is about to change so much. We have the design almost done on paper. We'll be sharing with you the process of how I designed this area over the next month or two, and then it'll just be an ongoing project after that. But really excited. Let's see if we have anything going on up here. The spirea are all leafed out. We've got a couple of bluebells still. There were bluebells up here, but they're apparently done. Let's see, a couple there. Foxgloves are all over. And that's where we planted the willow tree. Just keep moving along here. Okay, coming up to the back of the garden. The yellow rain tree has plenty of foliage. Not seeing flowers. Also, the Weigelias all leafed out, but I'm not seeing flowers yet. Then we have our star jasmine back here. She's a baby. This is her second spring. And I do see one little flower here. And there's lots of little buds. I don't know if they're gonna... Seems a little late, maybe. I'm not sure. But I'm excited to at least see this one come on. Okay. Swing over here. I wanted to check on a little baby plant that we had over here that we completely ignore and do nothing with, and it's looking gorgeous. Look at it. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. I mean, there's some notches and stuff. Something is getting to it, maybe earwig. I could treat it for earwig. Although I do notice that these birch trees are falling on it, and they just might be piercing the tree or piercing the shrub. Oh, that is so fun. Okay, let's keep going. You saw us plant this out just a couple of days ago. They're looking good. Still happy. Those still look good. This is my biggest garden issue. Moles. Moles. Ah! Alright, so nothing's over there right now. This honeysuckle got transplanted over here. It was over there, and it just never bloomed. I don't think it got enough sun. It looks like it's in full sun right now, but this is like a very short window that this area gets sun. And this butterfly bush gets as tall as the garage and then covers and shades this whole area. So when that honeysuckle is normally in bloom, it was in full shade. Got a little wind gust here. Okay, the raspberries are leafing out. The strawberries look strong. The, what is that called? Fritillaria, I think. Whatever it is. It's really pretty. And then got double blossom tulips back there, that's fun. This rosemary's in bloom as well. Let's get in here. I recently showed an update on the bulbs in this garden, but these weren't really open yet, so look at those. They are beautiful. How exciting. And of course, the purple tulips in here. And that really sweet little combo right there. The rhubarb is looking so amazing. I swear it's twice as big as the last time I showed you just like a few days ago. Yeah, it's loving life. Look at those stalks, they're huge already. Okay, I'm loving these daffodils. They're so cool. Alright, and then we have potato plants in here. Let's see if I can get them. There's one right there. There's one right there. We've got some in here. I'm seeing potato slips, but I'm not seeing potatoes. Why is it not covered? I don't know. Okay. This area has a lot of birds. I think they kind of scratch around in there. Anyway, look at all of the blooms on the blueberries. So cool. That's exciting. We're gonna have a good harvest of blueberries this year. And then, well, you can see the tulips have colored up in there. Not quite ready in that bed. The maple tree has fully leafed out. It looks beautiful, as it does every year. And yeah, I think we're at the end of our tour as far as blossoms go. Lots of native violas. Let's see all this. Look at all these little violas. Of course, they're mixed in with dandelion, but I don't care about that. And mixed in with euphorbium, but I don't care about that either. So cute. And then our saxifraga is getting ready to bloom everywhere, which is really cool. And then, so windy. Now how good you could see it, but the chocolate ajaga in here is looking really good. Let's see if I could get a close-up of the blossoms coming up. Oh God. Look at those. Really fun. I just keep encouraging them to grow. We planted a new hosta in here And the clematis is growing. It has a little blossom right there and another little blossom right there. I think that's it. The creeping Charlie is blooming. The pond looks beautiful. The grasses have really filled in. The heuchera looks good. Even the wisteria is starting to leaf out. It'll be really fun if it... Hey, Jasmine! It'll be really fun if it climbs this year. Really slow grower. It's Japanese wisteria. And then this creeping rosemary is just going crazy in that pot. And then we're back down to the Saxifraga. Little blooms coming on. Super awesome. The rhododendrons are not ready to bloom yet, but they'll start really soon. All around in here. And then you could see barely, but the lilacs have blossoms forming on them. And then you can see the Pieris in the backyard also has that neon salmon phenomenal color. It's really cool. Here's a better view of the maple all leafed out. Okay, that's it for this garden tour, mid-April 2022. And I'm really glad that I was able to take you along with me to check out all the new blossoms going on. I'm going to try to be a little bit more consistent so that I could share what is blooming in my area or in a Zone 9A during this time of year, because I have trouble finding that information for myself to know, and my goal is to have year-round interest in this garden. So, and like massive amounts of it. Like every time you come into my garden, I want it to be blowing your mind. So we're working on it, and it's looking pretty dang good in my opinion. But until the next video comes out, please make sure that you like and subscribe and ring the bell so that you're notified every time we post a new video. Also, go to our Instagram link and follow me on all the social media spaces, Facebook and Instagram, and tag along with me in my garden and graveyard adventures. We'll see you in the next one. Bye!